My guest today is going green every night at the Gershwin Theater as Elphaba in Wicked after wowing Broadway last season in Sting's musical, The Last Ship. You love her, I love her. Let's get to know Rachel Tucker. Hi there.
Hi, Paul.
How are you?
I'm very well.
First of all, I hope you noticed I wore green.
I did
for
notice.
you. I'm sure you're sick of it.
Very appropriate.
But I felt like maybe I look like Elphaba's prom date. Like that's the look I'm going for.
If she had a prom date, Paul, it would be you.
If she could get a prom date,
if she could get one,
he would look like me.
In real life, it would be you, not Fiora. No, I actually love green.
Yeah.
Green is a colour I wear. Redhead.
Yeah,
you know,
it's
green
a great color for you.
Green goes good with red, so I do enjoy a bit of green. Still, even though I get painted green every night, I still have a green coat, green tops.
It's still a thing.
Yeah.
So it's like when you first heard about this role, you were probably like, not only can I sing the crap out of it, I look good in green. I'm perfectly qualified.
That's so funny. I mean, I don't know how well I look good in green, but I mean, you don't have a much choice.
Right.
You don't with this role. You just get painted green. That's it.
So you were like London's longest running Elphaba.
Yes.
How many performances?
I was
2 million?
I think it was
or
over 1,000. I can't remember, but I think it was over 1,000. No, it was 3 contracts, so it was just under 3 years.
Wow.
Is how I do it.
Yeah, that's a lot.
And the last 6.5 months pregnant.
Right. And then you came here, and we all got to see you in Last Ship last season,
yes.
and you were wonderful.
Thank you.
And then everyone was like, well, is she going to do Wicked? Is she going to do Wicked? Are we going to get to see this? We get to see this? Because there was so much buzz. There was the buzz just like rolled across the Atlantic Ocean.
Yeah.
And so you definitely wanted to do it again, right?
I totally did. And Joe Mantello, the director of both shows, Last Ship and Wicked, and I made sure I didn't say a word to him the whole of Last Ship.
You weren't begging him during the Last Ship.
No. Can you imagine opening this brand new Broadway show? Joe, can I do Wicked? You know, come on, it's not a good style. So we got our closing notice, and after 2 days of crying, going, what am I going to do with my life? My whole life's here now, and me and my family. So I texted him. I was just like, you don't happen to want a particular Irish girl to play a particular green part? And he was like, I'm on it. So that was kind of, the ball started rolling then.
Wow, wonderful. And so I finally got to see you in the show. You're wonderful as Elphaba, and you have a real, you're just really in her skin. I mean, I feel like you're just really at one with her. It's really interesting.
Well, after 3 years or so, I'd like to think I would be. No, but thank you. This time around, it's been lovely to come back to a role 3 years older.
Yeah.
With a son, a bit more life experience. Not that helps, or not that it's necessary, but it helps. And I loved it. I really was able to know that I could sing it, not worry about the singing. Because, you know, when it starts starting off in London, it's like, can I sustain this? All those worries that everybody has ready to play Elphaba. And I didn't have those worries. And I was just like, let's dig deeper here. I needed to find a little bit more that I didn't get first time around in London.
I love it. You see all that from the audience, which is great.
Good.
And it's so fun seeing Wicked so many years into the run because first of all, it's just such a good freaking show.
It is.
I mean, like when you see it, you're like, well, no wonder. I mean, no wonder this show is this show. Because, and it's so great to see different actors do it. And actually, Dawn Cantel, is that her name?
Yes,
is playing Nessa Rose, your sister, and she played young you in the Last Ship. That's so cool.
Yes, it's brilliant.
You were Meg, she was young Meg.
Yes, that's right.
I love that.
Well spotted, yes. And it's been a dream to have someone that I was so close with in Last Ship to now be my sister in Wicked, and it's been great. And we've just recently had a new cast change, so that's been refreshing and you know.
So I don't
us on our toes.
I'm not seeing any green tint anywhere on you.
Are you sure?
I really am sure. And I hear when I've interviewed Elphabas in the past, they tell me that sort of like at some point in the run they just kind of give up on the like. It's just like, you know what, I'm not going to sit here.
No,
how long it'd be a real proper scrub. I've seen that shower in your dress in the dressing. Isn't it like green? The floor's green. It's a green shower.
It's just tinted, stained green. Yeah. I mean, I usually have a stain around here. And there's some of my ears.
Yeah, it's usually the ears.
I don't bother with the ears. It's stupid because it's very obvious, but I kind of leave the ears. If it comes out, it comes out. If it doesn't, it doesn't.
Right.
I have been asked on the subway, why are my ears green? Which was, and of course you just tell them, but it's like people do notice.
Right.
And then my nails get painted green. They're supposed to be green, but they're not.
Yeah.
And
are your nails supposed to be painted green?
Yeah. But they just, I I just haven't done it in a while.
Okay. Of course, now that you pointed out, now I see green in your ears.
Right,
so
see,
it's the illusion is
there,
totally
it's there.
ruined. Now I can just totally tell your alphabet.
No, but apparently I'm one of the quickest to get the green off. I'm like,
oh, really?
no messing about.
You're a fast
messing
cleaner.
about.
You're a fast scrubber.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
get
Scrubber.
Just get it off. Now, has your son? I mean, sure, he's seen you as Alphabet.
Yeah.
Has he seen the show?
Yeah, so
How old is he now?
He's 3.
What's his name?
Just Benjamin.
He's adorable.
He is,
I
thank
loved
you.
his Halloween costume. You put on. He was a skeleton, baby skeleton or something.
We were the skeleton family.
Adorable.
We all dressed as skeletons.
Adorable.
Because he didn't want to dress up, so we just got him Old Navy skeleton pajamas, and he was very
perfect.
happy. He's been to see my put-in dress rehearsal.
Okay.
And about 4 months ago, and then he came recently and loved and really got a lot more out of it, and asked his father, who he was sitting with, could we play Defying Gravity again?
Like after you sang it?
Yeah.
Like, do that one again, Mom.
Like, no, son. Absolutely not. Not even for my son.
Now, I've also heard some actresses talk about sort of the emotional toll of this role. Do you feel that? I mean, if you had such a long run and you're doing it again, does it get to you? Is it a lot, or is it just kind of?
Once I'm off stage, I'm off stage. That's it. I'm very, very good at switching off. But I mean, the emotional toll, as in of sustaining 8 shows a week, that's heavy, you know, and trying to do. I mean, don't always do it, but I'm more or less trying to do 8 shows a week. So that's just tiring. It's tiring.
Yeah.
And the daily grind of, you know, just showing up every night and performing as best you can on that day. It's exhausting, but it's a great job. Once you're on there and warmed up and you've got a kicking audience and the band's amazing, the sound's incredible. It's like there's nothing like it. Money can't buy it.
You hide your accent very well.
Thank
in
you.
the show.
Good.
I mean, like, is that hard? Do you ever find yourself struggling with that, or?
I can hear whenever I slip a little bit.
Okay.
But what I've realised is that the Northern Irish, where I'm from, I wouldn't say it's close to American.
Oh, I thought you were from New Jersey. I'm sorry.
Say,
Okay.
it's not close to, but we roll our R's as well, and we have some sounds and phrases that I think to an American ear could sound American.
Okay.
So I might get away with it a bit better than I do in London.
Got it. Okay.
When I'm trying to do an English accent.
Right.
Which I
So
think.
Alphabet's British in London?
Yes.
I don't remember that. Well,
Just,
Dina Menzel wasn't British when
No,
she was
she kept
Alphabet.
her American accent. I mean, she's Dina Menzel. She's going to keep her accent. No, so she did American.
Wow. Okay. Interesting.
And in London, it was a bit like, why is there an American? You know, it did stand out a bit, but in London, I'm Irish, but I live in London, so they want me to do a standard RP accent, which is fine. But I find the American easier.
Do you find that living in New York, New Yorkers are very charmed by your accent?
Yes.
Do you get away with a lot with this? I bet you do.
Red hair, Irish accent. They're like, wow, you're real Irish.
They love it.
Yeah,
they love it.
And I think I'm a bit more exotic over here. This season, anyway. For now, no, but I do. The accent thing is quite big over here, as opposed to London.
I want to go back a little bit. Tell me about Tucker Kelly and the Kel-Star. Is that correct?
Yes.
Am I saying it right?
It is.
So Tucker Kelly.
It's my father.
It's your father.
Yes.
And you were what part of the Kel-Star?
Yes.
Tell me about
Dad
this.
started the band when I was about 10.
It's like the Partridge Family.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
So, a lot less, yeah.
The Jacksons.
The Jacksons, a lot less money. And Dad sung all his life. His father brought him into entertainment when he was 6. It's just in the blood. And so I started asking questions and wanted to sing and show on those signs. And he took me under his wing, and the cabaret circuit in Northern Ireland, Belfast, was very big back then when I was a kid. And there was, and he took me out with him and kind of showed me the boards, and we sang duets together at Jolson, Judy Garland, and then he decided to form a band, myself, a pianist. He could play guitar, he can play anything, and myself singing, and then my sister came on board. So it really was like the Partridge Family or the Jackson 5 and the Kel-Stars, and that's what we were called, and we sang every weekend with him from I was 10, 11, and right up until I was about 17, 18 before I moved to London. Yeah.
Wow. It sounds like you sang a lot of like 50, 60-year-old women stuff. or like very like
like Patsy Cline. I sung
Okay.
like, you know, I also sung Stupid
very
Cupid,
mature
You're a Real
for
Mean.
your.
Yeah,
I mean, you
yeah.
weren't singing a little girly.
Yeah, this was it. This was and my father's an amazing impressionist.
Okay.
He does like ridiculous impressions of Sammy Davis Jr. for a white
Wow.
black guy. He's just, you
Wow.
know. So I saw this growing up, and Al Jolson and, you know, Frank Sinatra and the Rat Pack. That was our kind of shtick. It's what we did.
Okay, yeah.
And I did Judy, and then, you know, I remember getting a bit older, and Dad was like, you know, you've got to change it up a bit. And I saw Tina Turner on TV, and at one of the Live Aid concerts was like, who is this woman? And I wanted to sound like her. So she more or less taught me how to belt.
What Tina Turner songs would you sing?
Simply the Best,
Okay.
River
Oh,
Deep,
nice.
Mountain High, Proud
Well,
Mary.
I love it.
You know, so from like a
Did
stupid
you, did you
small
do the
age.
Proud Mary choreography? Did you do
I
the,
did.
you
I did the whole.
thing?
My gimmick was I turned around, shook my head upside down, stuck my skirt up my pants, showed my legs off. Juggle. Honestly, that was my gimmick, and that was, you know, so that was. The
Wow, I
counselors.
love it. So were you exposed to musical theater? Were your parents into musical theater
This
at all?
is
or did
the
that
thing.
just kinda happen?
My mum and dad loved the movies, and we
Okay.
watched those. We used to fight over them at the weekends. Which, you know, I wanted Seven Brides for Seven Brothers. My brother wanted the Eddie Kenter story. You know, it was that we loved the videos. We weren't brought to theatre very much.
Yeah.
But it was my sister who got me into theatre. She played Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz, and I went to one of her rehearsals and was like, this is real. You wore red slippers and you dressed like Dorothy, and then I was hooked. So I then took on the drama alongside singing at the weekends, and my sister gave it up and stuff, became a hairdresser, but sang at the weekends, and then I just fell in love with theatre.
And then you started doing it professionally. I
Yeah.
mean, like you did a lot of classic musicals when you were a kid.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So I want to talk about some of the roles you played.
Yeah.
So you ended up playing Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz.
Yes.
You did. That was
At
like
the Lyric in Belfast, yes.
that was a fun production.
That was with
Bugsy
Liam Neeson.
Malone.
Yeah, Bugsy Malone.
Right.
Yeah.
Who were you in Greece?
I was understudy Frenchie or something.
Understudy Frenchie,
That
okay.
was the most hilarious production of Greece. It was about 12 weeks rehearsals. It was we toured the UK. I mean, I was tiny. I was maybe 10 or 11 when I did it. But it was just dancing in the background, you know. It was. But Bugsy Malone, they couldn't find a boy that was good enough to play Bugsy, so that I was Bugsy Malone.
You were the boy.
So I was Bugsy, yeah.
Did that mess with your head at all as a little girl?
No, I just thought it was great. Just
Like,
thought,
I could do that.
yeah,
Whatever.
put my-
I could play Tina Turner. I could play a boy. If I could play Tina Turner, I could play a boy.
It was quite literally like anything. I want to do everything.
What about Joseph? What did you do in Joseph?
Ensemble,
Amazing Technicolor
Joseph,
Dreamcoat.
yeah, but no, just this was the thing. It was like I was in so many different shows as a young kid in the ensemble, learning harmonies, learning
Nice.
dance routines. You know, being directed by amazing directors who came over from London to direct kids from Northern Ireland. You know, disadvantaged children from Northern Ireland. We're the most advantaged kids. We ended up, you know, having the most amazing direction and choreographers coming over. And
So the lesson being that that's great education to not be one of the leads, right?
well,
To,
yeah, totally. At that
yeah,
age,
like,
at that
to
age,
get out there and like
I got the best of both. You know,
learn what you were
like
doing.
The Joseph with the big productions, I was ensemble, and then maybe the smaller productions, school, I was, you know, I was the lead. So it was a nice mixture.
So you really became known for
Yes,
I'll do
yes.
anything.
I'd
Right. So that's a song from Oliver.
do anything.
Yeah, I got it. So there was this whole series of these reality shows
Yeah.
to cast West End musicals,
That's right,
and that they were looking for Nancy for Oliver, right? And all the clips exist on YouTube. I just watched a bunch of them.
right.
I just watched a bunch of your sing-offs, which are totally fun. So what was that? We haven't had many of these
No,
in America.
no.
I mean, we had that Grease reality show,
right,
but it
yeah.
hasn't really become a thing here.
Yeah.
Was it a fun experience?
Massively fun. I loved it. I really loved it.
Did they? What exactly was it like? Did you all live somewhere,
Yes,
or is it?
we did. We lived in a beautiful, massive house along the Thames in London. I was engaged to my to-be husband. We had our own apartment, but I wasn't allowed to stay there during the week because the rehearsals were so like 9 in the morning to 8 at night. It was real intense. You know, it was
Wow.
boot camp. And they put us through our places. So we lived in and rehearsed during the day all day. We had like 3 or 4 different group numbers to learn. We had our solos to learn, and we each had individually, you know, directed you went into a coach, and you went into
Yeah.
a director, so there was a lot of rehearsal to do. And then we also had on our program, they were looking for an Oliver, 2 or 3 Olivers.
Right.
So the boys had, we had to be involved with the young boys and stuff. And
Wow.
it was, I absolutely loved it. And I decided to do it because I was getting so far in the West End. I toured a lot around the UK with productions, and I wasn't quite. I was either getting pipped at the post by someone who had done a reality TV show or someone who was off television. This was the way theatre was going.
Yeah.
In the UK, they needed bums on seats, so they were bringing names into the theatres
Right.
to sell. So I thought, if it comes around next year, that a show that I'm right for and I'm not working, I'll go for it. And it was.
So what they did was there was like a final sing-off. There was a bottom 2,
Yes,
right?
bottom
And then there'd
2.
be like a final sing-off, and you would sing. Andrew Lloyd Webber was one of the judges,
Mm-hmm.
and you would sing one of his songs with whoever your competitor
Yes,
was, and
yes.
do it like a duet version, and he would choose.
He would.
And he kept saving you. He saved you a couple times.
The Lord saved me. He did. Bless his heart. I think he had faith in me. But again, I think it just came down to the pub. If you're in the bottom 2,
Yeah.
you're not popular enough with the public
Right.
that you're going to win it.
What kind of girls were more popular with the public? What were they doing?
The girls. What were they doing?
They'll do anything.
I know, right? Who knows whether? No. No, they were just more popular, and I mean, it was a fair competition, and
Yeah.
I loved every minute of it. I'm just so glad I did it.
Yeah.
The experience again. It's just like, I think it's my upbringing. It's kind of like, bring it on. I'm really up for trying anything.
Yeah. And it really did launch you. I mean,
Yeah,
that
it really did.
And I know Andrew Lloyd Webber, didn't he then put you in Love Never Dies?
Well, the
You did,
workshop
like, the
of it.
reading.
Yes,
You did
I
it
went
at
up to Sidmington.
You
Yes,
did it at the
and
fancy estate?
Yeah.
How was that?
It was amazing.
I want to go there.
We went for like a week up to Sidmington.
Beautiful.
It was. And
You
then
were Meg Geary.
Yes.
She's so evil in Love Never
Right,
Dies.
right.
Meg Geary has a lot going on.
Right. It did dark. But well, I mean, I didn't go on to play it, but to be able to workshop it and
Yeah.
originate a character like that.
Yeah.
So again, thank you, Andrew.
Yeah.
Honestly, it was such a great, and the BBC, they know how to program it right. I think they've stopped doing those programs now, but people get tiresome of them. But
Yeah.
I'm so glad I did it.
But a lot of those other girls on the show are working.
Oh, yeah. Samantha Barks was in the Les Mis
Right,
movie. And
right.
Jodie's working away, the girl who won it, and Jessie Buckley's working with Kenneth Branagh and Judi Dench in the West End now.
Wow.
And it definitely shone a light onto our careers that might never have happened.
So that all led to you being Meat, correct?
Yes.
Meat.
Meat in
Now,
Wimbledon.
there's this show, We Will Rock You, which has not come to Broadway.
That's right, it
It's
hasn't.
never come to Broadway. I got to see it in London.
Right.
It was bonkers.
Right, okay, it is.
It's a bonkers show. It's the music of Queen.
Yes.
And there's characters with names like Meat.
Meatloaf,
And also
Meatloaf.
Scaramouche.
Scaramouche.
And you understudied her
Yes,
also, right?
yes, that's right.
And it was a crazy musical. Was
Yeah.
that like? And it
I
was like
loved it. It was
kind of like, what was it, like punk, neo futuristic? What is it? Sci-fi? What is
so
that?
it was written by Ben Elton.
Right.
Brian May, the music of Queen, and they wanted to set this in the future, and the main story of it is that live music is dying.
Right.
And in the future, I think it was in 2045 or 2050, there is no live instruments. So the Holy Grail was to find apparently this guitar that's stuck in the wall in Wembley Stadium.
Okay.
And we, via these characters, I played Meatloaf. So they've got these tiny bits of history Meatloaf, but they get it mixed up. So Britney Spears is a man, played by a man, and Meatloaf is played by a woman.
Got it,
So
okay.
it's Ben Elton comedy and
Got it,
humour. Along
Was
with
it fun?
Queen. It was amazing.
You sang your face off.
Sang the face off.
Yeah.
What I like to do.
Yeah, it was a big West End show.
My first West End show.
Do you think they should bring it to Broadway?
I think they'd love it here.
I don't know. It's fun, right?
I think they would love it.
Yeah.
And with just, again, changing the accents, American, I think they'd love it.
So you talked about your husband already.
Yes.
And you met doing a show, correct?
Yeah.
As a showmance?
It was.
He was a
Well, he was the director.
What show was it?
Tommy.
He was your director?
Yes.
So when did he start flirting with you?
Probably
The audition
at the
or-
audition.
Really?
Yeah. Well, no. Actually, we this is the thing. We didn't fancy each other. It was weird. We didn't for a while. We got to know each other. But it was about rehearsals. He took me out for lunch one day, and
Okay.
we would go and have a soup, and I was a bit like, is there a twinkle in his eye, and do I feel a little bit of chemistry here, and just wanting to avoid anything like that. And actually, no, it was perfect. It was. So we went on tour, and he used to come and make sure the show was in fine form. And
Yeah, sure. He was coming to check on the show.
yeah,
Exactly what he was
Check
doing.
yeah, it's true actually. Check on me. Check out on me. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, it's about 6 months.
And by the time you finished doing the show, you were a couple.
Yes.
Nice.
Yes, very much.
Nice.
So.
And look, it all worked out.
All right.
Showman's so great.
Showman's, it happened. Yeah.
And is he in New York with you?
Yes.
So the whole family's in New York?
Yes. On our dog Barney.
So now that you're here, and now that we all know you're fabulous, and you're on Broadway, is this where you want to like stay? You want to stick around?
I think we would love to. Yes.
Yeah.
If the Americans will have us, we'd love to stay. Thank you. We do love it here, and I just it's. I don't think we would have been very happy in London and working away and doing our thing. But when you get the opportunity to work on an original show like The Last Ship and then come back for Wicked, it's like, well, there's twice now America has called us. I seem to fit in okay here. I'd love Guy would love to work here too. So we'd love to have a go here.
So how's Sting? Have you heard from Sting recently?
Yes, well, he came to my opening night.
Okay, good.
So that was a surprise. It was lovely. He's very busy, but he's great on the email. He'll always reply.
Good.
It's lovely.
That show was beautiful, and the most beautiful moment of The Last Ship was that song, the trio.
When we dance.
Oh my God, that moment of the show was so just stunning.
It was special, wasn't it?
So stunning. Was it? Did it? I mean, were you just heartbroken when that show?
That was the hardest, the most complex, difficult bit of the show that just kept not working for Joe, for the director, for
that song I just said.
Yes,
my favorite
that
moment
was the hardest
that didn't
moment.
Work?
Yes. So the whole way through those,
Joe, it worked.
The whole way through, every night we were very mechanical about what we were doing. I'm glad it didn't show, but just know that in my brain, all our brains, the three of us, we were just hoping it worked tonight.
Wow, interesting.
It was very, very complex and difficult to get what Joe and the choreographer wanted and what it needed.
Yeah.
We were happy with it. We were very happy with it.
That was the moment that made me fall in love with the show.
Oh, wow.
It really did. There's so much love on that stage.
Right.
You could tell you all were loving what you were doing and loving the team and loving the process.
It was so special.
Heartbreak.
It really was. It was so special. And to originate a role, and it was the score as it was. It was, first Broadway show. There's so many reasons why it was so special to me. And heartbreaking at the same time.
Yeah.
And I used to look at like my stakes in my life were never as high ever before. I was always watching to see what the audience reaction was, and what the numbers were like, and because if it didn't work, we were going home to London. Yeah. And which we did, but we're back. But that's ultimately the stakes in Meg's life were so high, and then the stakes in my own life were so high. So
yeah. So
art imitating life, isn't that what they say?
So the hope is to find more beautiful new shows like that.
I'd love to.
Bring more beautiful new shows this
please.
lady's way. What about like concerts or anything while you're here? I know the show keeps you pretty busy.
Yeah, we're pretty exhausted at the end of the week. So concerts are. I'd love to maybe toward the end of my contract or after, but focusing on Wicked.
Yeah, cool. Well, you are wonderful in Wicked.
Thank you so much.
And I'm sure everyone who's watching this has seen Wicked, but you haven't seen Rachel Tucker. Maybe you have, but if you haven't, you have to see what she's doing. It's really beautiful work.
Thank you so much.
I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're on Broadway. Oh my God, you know what I forgot to tell you? We have the same birthday.
29th of May.
29th of May.
Oh my God. It's so rare you make somebody with the same birthday.
We are birthday twins, and I forgot to mention it.
Gemini.
It means you're a crazy Gemini
right?
like me.
I'm a schizophrenic, and so am I.
So it's good to know you. No wonder I got you. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks
it's a pleasure. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.